8 sides. I'm going to snap to the center. And I go inscribe, you'll see that I'm connected to the vertex. So if I do a radius of 2, you'll notice that it's inside the circle because the vertex is touching the circle. Now if I do circumscribed, you'll notice I'm connected to the midpoint. Now with the radius of 2, it's going to put it on the outside. So there's a little difference on sizing, but I always tell my students, look at how the drawing is dimensioned. You know, if you're dimensioned from flat edge to flat edge, you know, that's circumscribed. And I rarely ever see one that's dimensioned from corner to opposite corner. If that's the case, it's inscribed. So look at how your object is dimensioned. Now you can draw a polygon based on the number of sides and a center point. But you can also create one based on the length of an edge. I had a brother-in-law, still have him, that said, can you draw a 7-sided gazebo where each side was 7 feet? One command in AutoCAD, polygon. Because he wanted to know exact angles and stuff like that. So if you want to know the length of one, you could enter polygon. Let's say I want 8 sides, but I want to use edge mode. You pick a point and you specify the width of that edge. So let's say I have this polygon and I want to draw another one and actually have them line up from edge to edge. I can do edge mode, pick a point, and actually come up here and connect them end to end. So you can draw them like that. Now since I'm there, let's go ahead and finish the tile. Edge mode. There we go. So I use it a lot to draw patterns like that where I want the edges to connect. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, we do have a new object snap, which I do not believe is in 18, that you can snap to the geometric center of a polygon. Before we had that, what I would tell students to do is to draw a 3-point circle around the polygon. And you just pick 3 points, and then you can use the center of the circle. But typically if I'm drawing a polygon, I've got center marks or I have a circle. I have something that I'm aligning it with. So I really know where the center is. But since I was just randomly drawing these in space, I didn't really mark the center point. The geometric center or the circle method would also help you find those as well. Ellipses on page 820. I don't know, well, if you're in mechanical, you may have a time to draw ellipses. I can't ever think of any time in architectural where I actually had to draw an ellipse on a drawing. But AutoCAD has the ellipse tool, and it's located up here on your draw panel. And we have 2 ways of drawing ellipses. You can do the center method where you're specifying 2 radiuses. Or you could do axis in where you're specifying the diameter of one axis and then the radius of the other. And we also have an elliptical arc that you can create. So if we do the center method, you pick a center point, drag out one, let's say I want that to be 1 unit. And then for the other one, I want it to be 0.5. Oh, didn't want that. And the nice thing about the ellipse is you can go to properties and change those. Major, I want that to be 1. So you've got the radius, center of radius. Now on the other one, now if you just start the ellipse command by typing in ellipse, it's going to use this axis in method. So basically you're picking one diameter and then one radius. Now the elliptical arc is the same way. You pick a center point, one radius, the second radius, and then you pick a starting and ending angle of the elliptical arc. So you've got an elliptical arc. And the nice thing about the elliptical arc is you have arrowheads on the starting and ending point, and you can adjust that. And you can also go to properties and adjust those angles too. So it looks like, in this case, what I did, starting angle 15, ending angle 30. To me, what it looks like it's doing is it's starting at this, and it's going down 15, and then it's going 30. I really never use properties to change the angles, but that's how it's doing it. So it looks like it's actually starting on the left point and going clockwise. So if I started this at 0, and ended at 180. I just don't draw a lot of ellipses and stuff. But you can also use your trim command, which we haven't talked about yet. In one of the exercises, you're going to create like the bottom of a cylinder. You could also use your trim command to trim that out. So many of the things you do with the arcs, even if with the elliptical arcs, the trim command will also help you out too on those. All right, questions? There's 4 exercises in this chapter. Let's